we are honored this evening to welcome a young soldier who had a change of heart after experiencing the reality of war in Iraq. His name is Camilo Mejia.
January of 2003. Just 4 months before the end of my 8-year military service, my contract was involuntarily extended to the year 2031. And I received mobilization orders. Up to that point, I had been politically opposed to the invasion, which I saw as unjustified and criminal. But I had been afraid to voice my opinion and take an anti-war stance. I feared the rejection of my peers almost as much as I feared the possibility of a court-martial. Serving in Iraq changed my opposition to the war from an abstract and impersonal position to an intimate, moral, and heartfelt one. Our first mission was an improvised prison camp, where our main job was to soften up so-called enemy combatants for interrogation. We did this by depriving them of sleep for periods of up to 72 consecutive hours, using methods to induce extreme fear and break down their psychological makeup. Other missions, through a combination of bad leadership and disregard for the lives of the Iraqi people, resulted in the killing of innocent civilians. Although at times I questioned the many injustices we were committing, for the most part, I remained unable to take a principled stand against them. By then, it wasn't just fear of the US military that kept me from reacting to the madness of the situation, but also a more primal fear of dying in combat. The instinct of survival clouded my ability to judge right from wrong, and I continued participating in an invasion that I deeply rejected. After 7 months in the Middle East, and 5 months of combat in Iraq, I received a 2-week furlough to come home. It was only then, far removed from the fear of dying, that I decided I could no longer, in good conscience, continue to be part of an endeavor I knew in my heart to be criminal, immoral, and against all I held to be precious and valuable. In March of 2004, having resolved my fear of going to prison, I went public with my opposition to the war. I gave a press conference denouncing the war as oil-driven and declaring my decision to no longer be a part of it. Afterwards, I surrendered to military authorities. The all-military jury found me guilty of desertion in approximately 20 minutes. I was sentenced to 12 months of confinement in a military prison, demotion from the rank of staff sergeant to private, and a bad conduct discharge. In prison, I had no regrets. I did not feel sad or bitter, because I knew that I had done the right thing. I felt free. The only time I felt like a prisoner was when my mother brought my daughter Samantha to visit me. After spending about an hour playing with her, I had to see her go through the prison doors, out into a world where I could not follow her. At that moment, I felt like something essential had been removed from me. Even then, I did not regret my actions, but when I went back to my room, all I could do was bury my face on the pillow and cry. It was the only time I cried in jail. On my release from prison, I joined the growing GI anti-war movement. My actions and the consequences of those actions led to my relationship with the RFC, and they have brought me here before you. Thank you for letting me be a part of your family. and for listening to my story.